Hello and welcome to all of my beautiful Aquarius babes out there. If you are an Aquarius sun, moon, rising, or Venus, this is your tarot reading for the month of September. And in case anybody is interested, I will be using the Cosmo Tarot right there. So let's get started. Potent energy. So on the bottom of the deck, we have the sun, and then we have the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. And these two are an interesting dynamic to me because it's almost like an opposite expression of the energy that they bestow. So the King of Pentacles is a very patient, stoic man. He's gone through all of the trials and tribulations of, at this point, the entire tarot deck. And he's sitting on his throne. He knows he's in his power. He knows what he needed to do to get there. He has a strong work ethic, and he knows the importance of taking things step by step and letting things unfold at their own pace. Where Knight of Wands almost charges into the night. He is like, I don't know what's in front of me. I don't know how I'm going to get there. All I know is I'm going to get there fast, face it head on, and I'm going to deal with it as they come to me. So that's a really interesting dynamic here, and I'm going to ask the cards for more clarity in just a second. But of course, we have the sun on the bottom of the deck, and this is so many people's favorite card of the entire tarot because it just represents coming back to yourself and amplifying your sense of curiosity for the world around you. There's a childlike innocence to it. There's joy, there's abundance. It's just being so content and excited for where you are in the present moment. And maybe this combination of energies is just how you're entering in the month of September, Aquarius. Maybe you are like, you don't know what's coming, but you're going to face it head on without any fear. That Knight of Wands. But in the meantime, as you're facing things head on, you're going to give yourselves the patience and the knack that you need to take things as they come to you and really stand in your power, knowing that you have everything you need in order to stay secure and stable and, you know, ready for whatever life may throw at you. And through all of that, you're still connecting to your inner child. I love the King of Pentacles and the Sun together because it really is that combination of the wisdom garnered from a life of experience. You've gone through all the things you need to go through to get to where you are, to reach that acme of stability where you are so steady. You've built the foundation from the ground up and it's unshakable. And so now that you're on that foundation, you've built up from there, you have your finances, you have everything, you have this safety net and the protection to really tap into that inner child and allow that curiosity and that innocence to thrive because you feel safe enough to do so. So maybe that's what September will be all about. It's you're recognizing that all of the hard work you've put in previously, you Saturnian beings, all the hard work you put in previously really has paid off. And now you have the opportunity to just allow yourself to really tap into those feelings that you may have not felt for a very long time. As Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, it's possible that in childhood, you had to take on a lot of responsibilities, or maybe even where other adults look at kids and see kids with Aquarius and Capricorn placements, adults look at you guys and they see, oh, this is somebody who is wise beyond their years. They can help with the younger siblings. They can help me because I might not feel really stable and secure as a parent and I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to lean on them for emotional support. And it's absolutely not fair. But because of that, Saturnians, people with heavy Saturnian influence, often don't get to tap into that inner child while they're children. So that's why they set up that foundation for themselves. They get what they need early on, so they have the stability and the protection to really let those feelings of just like simplicity and joy and creativity thrive from there. And as I was speaking, we had the Two of Swords fall right out of the deck. So there might be some sort of nudge towards mental something to do with writing and a nudge towards something that allows you to unpack the things that still plague your mind. And Aquarius is air signs. I know your minds are always running, they're always going, it's always overthinking, it's always second guessing, it's always, always, always just moving. even if it's not overthinking or second guessing, there's just, it's a constant flow of information and songs and conversations and everything going on up here. So the Two of Swords is almost an invitation to kind of sit back and make a decision of how you want to unpack all of the flowing thoughts. And maybe in September, you're going to start some sort of new, very personal venture. You might be starting a new journal or, starting to write in general. It's definitely something to do with words and how you can use your mind to create, poetry. So you can take all of the things that have or are plaguing you and ailing you and keeping you stuck up here and finally releasing them, putting them on paper so they're not just stuck in your head anymore. And if you have no plans to do that, I definitely recommend. I always say this for all air signs because constantly, your brain, as strong and amazing as our brains are, they can only hold so much. And if you don't find a way to release everything that is in your mind, oh my, it becomes your own personal hellscape. So definitely, definitely invite you to allow your mind the reprieve it needs. Get it all out on paper. I love free writing for example, I love free writing because you don't have to have like an idea of where you're going. It doesn't have to be something specific. You don't have to have a destination, an endpoint, anything. You can just start writing and then no judgment, let whatever needs to flow out. And then afterwards, burn the paper. It really is a release in that way. So, going back to the cards, we had the Two of Swords there, and then when the Two of Swords fell out, the Hangman was on the bottom of the deck too. So, again, I really think that September is going to be a much needed break for you, Aries. The Hanged Man, it's oh, and then the High Priestess under the Hanged Man, so there's a wisdom behind this reprieve here. Again, reprieve. So that's the main theme of September that I'm getting so far. It's in the Rider Waite deck, the Hanged Man is quite literally just hanging upside down by one leg and he's got nothing to do. He's got nowhere to go. It's an opportunity to reflect and really accept where you are in the present moment. Accept it with a radical self-love and accept that recognize that everything you've done previously is what brought you to this point in time where you can't go back, you can't go forward. Are you going to allow your brain to send you back or forward, or will you finally accept being in the present? Will you finally allow your brain to and just be? Very interesting that I just noticed this. Look at the hand on the hanged man. It's almost like when people, this month of September, and again, High Priestess was underneath of that as well. This month of September, it's an invitation to tap into the wisdom you can find when you learn how to quiet your mind. And I think through quieting your mind, that's when you're going to tap into that sun energy, that childlike innocence, that curiosity for the world. It's you're finally giving your mind a much needed break so it can stop being worried about everything that's always flowing in and out and around and going on up here. So it has the space to then get curious. If there's always something being processed or analyzed or overthought, where's the space for curiosity? Where's the space for innocence? Where's the space for wonder? All of it. And that's your Two of Swords decision there. It's will I allow my mind to continue to run at 800 million miles an hour to no avail, with no break? Or am I finally going to accept that I've set up this foundation for myself? So I have the bravery and the strength to dive into the inner caverns of my unconscious mind, figure out why it's always yelling at me all the time for no reason, recognize that physically I am protected, I am safe, I have what I need to take this break. I don't need to be stressing about work, I don't need to be stressing about finances. I am on this I've built this foundation. Even if it was a subconscious thing that happened, I've built this foundation for this moment, for this present moment. So I'm able to go within myself and finally work out the kinks that have been plaguing me for so long. Get it out on paper and burn it. Just write and release and write and release and write and release. That's what I'm getting here. There's nowhere to run and there's nowhere to hide. That hanged man is an invitation. It's an invitation to really use this time to reflect. Reflect and accept yourself lovingly and radically. Oh, are they falling out? Looks like it. Five, five of cups on the bottom. I'll get into in a sec. And then another two, two of wands and queen of wands reversed. Where do I want to go first with this? Okay, two of wands. So two, anytime there's more than one two, there's definitely some sort of decision you've been putting off that this is going to be the time to make it in September. With the two of wands, it's a decision to it's making the choice to step into whatever this new adventure is, and for this for you in September, Aquarius, it's going to be an inward venture. It's not going to be anything out external, but it's making the radical choice to say, you know what, yeah, I think it's time. I think I'm ready for this. It's like, I don't know if you guys have seen the Barbie movie, but right before she goes to Los Angeles or whatever, Weird Barbie gives her two options, right? She can choose the Birkenstock and go on this adventure and learn the truths of the universe, or she can take the high heel and just stay in Barbie land. And she so wants to grab that high heel. She's like, I'm gonna stay here, thanks. That's all I need. And it's like, no, this is an illusion. You actually don't have a choice. You're taking the Birkenstock. And that's almost what the Two of Wands is. It's a similar vibe to that, where it's like, it's the illusion of choice, but you know you're going to go forward. You know which way you're going to go. You're not going to stay in the kingdom, in the castle, and just be content. You're making that choice to embark on this adventure. And again, in this case, it's an inner adventure and it's an inward journey to again work out those kinks and release what does not serve you moving forward. And I don't know what's happening after September. That'll be a reading for another month, but September is almost like you're giving yourself the space and the time you need to clear everything out. It's like spring cleaning in that way to get ready for summer, or in this case, to get ready for fall or whatever's coming after that. And it's going to be so important that you take the time and accept your presence and accept what's going on and choose to release it. Because you can run for as long as you want, but your energy is already there. Your energy is saying, no, I'm ready for this. Your energy is saying, I am radically choosing to go within so I can release, so I can be better for myself, so I can show up more presently in my community, in my work, in whatever it is that you feel really passionately about. The more you release in the month of September, the more you're able to clear out your mind and free up some space in there, the more positive benefits you'll see moving forward. And with that said, we had Five of Cups upright as well on the bottom of the deck. And this card is always so not funny. I can't think of the word I want, but it's always an interesting thing when it pops out in these readings because again, it's an illusion. It's not an illusion of choice this time though. In the Rider-Waite deck, the Five of Cups shows a man. It's like stormy or it's about to storm, very gray sky, pretty dark outside. It's just gloomy. And he's in this big black trench coat and he's just looking down. And he's really sad because three of his cups right in front of him, they're poured out, they're knocked over. All of the water that he had in these three cups are gone. So what else does he have? What else does he have? He's so upset about the loss of these three cups, but he doesn't realize that if he shifts his perspective, if he turns 90 degrees just behind him, just before he crosses over a bridge, there are two more cups that are perfectly full and available to him. And he still has that abundance, but because he's so focused on the lack, because he's so focused on what he lost, he doesn't even realize that right behind him, those two cups stand. And then they are leading him towards to walk over a bridge towards something new, towards a new opportunity, towards whatever that newness is. So the Five of Cups, again, it's an invitation to shift your perspective. If as you're releasing all of this energy, you get really caught up on a certain aspect or a certain situation or something from your past that just really bogs you down, learn to shift your perspective. Learn how to say, okay, I'm feeling this way for a reason. And don't intellectualize your feelings as you're doing this either. Learn to say, I'm feeling this way for a reason. Let's feel what I need to feel. And then learn how to tap into the gratitude for what I do still have now. Judgment reverse and the star on the bottom of the deck. And the star was on the bottom before I started. And the star is Aquarius's card in the tarot. And Wheel of Fortune under the star. Wow. Wow. Okay. Let's start with Judgment reverse first. So with the 5 of Cups energy, if you shift your perspective, if you continue to allow yourself to be bogged down by the pessimism, by the lack, you're showing a lack of judgment. You're teaching yourself that you're incapable of releasing and moving forward. You're teaching yourself that whatever system your mind or body set up to protect you in the past, you're teaching yourself that you still need to lean on that protection as a crutch, that you need to hold on to this hurt or this pain or this anger, because if I don't have it anymore, what do I have? If I don't have these 3 spilt cups anymore, what do I have? You're showing a lack of judgment in that. But if you flip this upside down, or I guess right side up, clear judgment, clarity of mind, you recognize that, wait, what do I have? I have these 2 perfectly crystalline cups right behind me with the most tasty, cool water I've ever drank in my life. I was so focused on the anger that I felt from this situation, or it may be taking this back to your inner child. Maybe you're just still holding on to anger at the fact that you weren't allowed to express your childhood the way you needed to. And this month of September, use this as a way, however you need to release that anger. You need to recognize that the anger you felt is and was valid, but you felt that anger and that hurt and that sorrow as a means to protect your little heart, and little from childhood. Not saying your heart's a little now, but you used it as a way to encompass yourself and push those feelings outwardly because you didn't know how to handle them inside, and that's why it was all external. But you don't need to hold on to those feelings anymore. You're an adult that has set up your life in a way where you are protected. You have the foundation you need. You've grown yourself to these heights, so you are safe and allowed to feel through what you need to feel through and release what you need to release that does not serve you any longer. And once you are able to do that, you're able to tap into your true divine authenticity. Again, this is the card for Aquarius in the zodiac, and it's one of my favorite cards in the tarot, or in the tarot, not the zodiac. Um, it's one of my favorite cards because it truly is just tapping into your own authentic nature, however that comes. It's expressing the deepest caverns of your weirdness without fear of rejection or anything like that, because you know if somebody does not accept you in your true authentic self, then they're not meant for you, and that's okay. And it's easy to let go and move on. You're not harboring this anger anymore for wrongdoings. You're not feeling sorrow for the lack and the loss. You're just accepting where you are in the present moment and using that acceptance and that presence to move forward from a place of self-love and acceptance of again, of yourself and the world around you. And not only that, it's Wheel of Fortune. The more you tap into this authentic nature, the more luck will be on your side, the more the universe will favor you and offer you greater opportunities that align with your authentic self. So you're just growing and continuing to grow that foundation even larger and stronger and more, and offer yourself a greater safety net. And as you continue to expand that safety net, oh my God, I have chills. As you continue to expand that safety net, you are left with nothing but your true authentic nature, your ability to tap into your childlike wonder and curiosity for the world, that innocence that you may have been robbed of when you were younger. It is open to you. But before you can get to that, Aquarius, use September as a way to release what no longer serves you. Make all of those unconscious feelings that have been trapped in your body for too long, and in your mind especially, make them, force them out of you however you need to, whether that is writing. I think writing will be a great tool to utilize moving forward, but it could also be physical movement. It could just be walking in a park, or out in the woods, and not even bringing your headphone, not bringing anything, and just listening to the sounds of nature, asking for help from the beyond, seeking clarity and synchronicity. You have all the tools at your disposal you need to release what doesn't serve you and move forward. And September is going to be a potent month for that. It's going to be release. It's all release if you allow it. Again, you have the illusion of choice here because you ultimately don't have a choice, and your energy is ready to release. That's what I'm like, all of these major arcana cards. Your energy is ready to release, and the tower, I didn't even realize the tower was on the bottom. It's ready for change. It's ready to destroy the past habits and protections and whatever it needs to destroy so it can emerge anew, authentic, connected to their childlike innocence and wonder for the world, aligning with opportunities that connect with their hearts. You guys, that is your reading for September. And that is your homework, I'll say. That's what it is. It's learn how to release, learn how to quiet the mind, and accept that there's nowhere to go right now. Where you are right now is where you need to be. Accept yourself in this present moment and allow anything that needs to emerge. Feel through it without intellectualizing it. Feel through it without running away. And suddenly, come October, you will feel so much lighter and freer and unbound. I love you, Aquarius. You guys got this. You got this.